Oh, fuckers.
Look what I dug out of the fucking archives.
It's one of the best.
I was gonna say, like, I've never seen that intro before.
Oh,
No, it's a top tier intro.
oh baby, I got them all. They're about to start going back into rotation. I made that decision today.
No, I think it's a great idea.
I have it labeled as certified hood classic on the video clips.
I know we need to use the Dropbox more. Like, yeah.
Oh, I've got it. Like I said, I had to totally reset my computer the other day because I don't know, too much porn. I have no idea what happened, but it totally just shit the bed on me, and I had to Windows got corrupted, and I had to redo it, so I had to relog into everything, and I remembered my Dropbox stuff, so we're all set up.
That's good.
It's good to go.
Man,
it's a good way to come into 2022. How are you boys? How was your New Year's?
Mine was relatively low key, so yeah, it was great.
Fireworks didn't scare the piggies.
Nope, nothing scared the piggies. They're pretty chill with all that stuff.
Anybody who's curious, we replaced Corey with Wayne Gassman.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say. Let's announce who's on the show, please.
I legitimately thought it was Corey with a fake beard.
Disguise.
I also don't mean to brag at all, but I actually had probably the coolest New Year's ever. So let me go ahead and set the groundwork for that one. And the reason why is I got to go see Dave Chappelle live.
Oh, you fuck! I forgot about that.
You gotta go see Dave Chappelle live? Oh, jealous.
This is the GOAT?
Climate Pledge Arena, and he didn't advertise it. He didn't do shit. And there was camera crews everywhere. I'm pretty sure he was filming a Netflix special, because who fucking opened for him was Patton Oswalt.
Oh my God.
Really?
Holy shit, dude! What top 10? I can't even.
Those are not two comedians I would think would be in the same stadium.
You would be incorrect, 100%. And it was just, dude, it was such an amazing night. And
I think that's part of the genius of Dave Chappelle, though, is everyone who's actually in the know understands that he's the greatest of all time. No one really can argue.
Especially of our time, and on the coattails of all the controversy he's been on. Well, when are you going to be able? I mean, and legitimately,
that's why I was surprised with Patton Oswalt, because he's very, very historically on the LGBTQ side of things.
The thing too is that the guy that opened before him was he was talking about how he was I'm done with this COVID shit. I've had my shots, I've been vaccinated, I have it. I ain't taking no more boosters, no more shit. And then Patton Oswalt comes on, he's like, fill me full of your fucking science. And and the thing is that they had really a super diverse lineup, and it was, God damn it, dude.
It's almost like the jokes are the only thing that matter in comedy.
Who knew? And
Fuck me, right?
Where there's certain people in this world that you're like, you know what? If I could just hear them say that in live, if you wish you could hear motherfucker come out of Samuel L. Jackson's mouth in person, you could be okay,
amazing.
Just bathe you in the golden sound waves.
Exactly. That was exactly the same way it was with Dave Chappelle and a hard R. You're like, I will never hear a better hard R in my entire life. And I heard it on New Year's, and dude, it was such a great show, man.
That's really cool.
Fuck everybody else's New Year's. That shit was legendary.
I'm you're not wrong. Very, very, very jealous of you.
Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Can't really top that.
Exactly. No one can.
Yeah.
If anybody who's actually watching this right now can top that, then good luck. Put it in the comment section.
I shared it on my Facebook, so I'm sure I'll have a couple people tuning in from that. So. I was like, I finally made it. I'm finally on the ASAP podcast. All right.
Nobody tunes into this shit. Don't lie to yourself.
Whatever. Hey, I just posted a cool video from the fiance night when we did a trip up to upstate New York to visit my my VFX guy, Sean Joseph. So it's been getting some traction on that today. So I was like, this might roll in well.
Okay, everybody, hold your breath. Corey's camera might actually work this time. Let's see.
Yeah, I fucking doubt
it. Oh, look, it's Corey.
Is everything working? And we lost Carl when I brought him in. What the fuck?
Can't have this many people. Obviously, the podcast can't handle it.
God damn it, Carl. Yeah, let Corey in. Corey's shit isn't working. Carl, 2022, ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
I'm just saying, all my stuff's working. I even put extra mood lighting up. For
I
everybody.
saw that. Look at you putting in 110%. Our fucking host can't even show up on time.
Whoa. I even got a little edge light. I've got a little edge light over here too.
You're coming through the wrong mic, dum dum.
What?
You're coming through the wrong mic, dum dum.
Oh my god, dude.
I mean, I even went and set up my Sennheiser 416 on a boom arm and everything up here.
Dude, no, Wayne, you've never done anything wrong in your life, and I love you for this.
That's not true, but I try. I try.
Meanwhile,
not to mess stuff up.
Carl just got totally fucking kicked from everything. Yes, now I hear you.
Does that sound good?
That does sound good. Listen to you.
Okay, good.
My God.
Thank you. Ooh.
We were just all being very, very, very fucking jealous of the fact that Punk got to see Dave Chappelle live.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The GOAT, man. That guy
is
ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And we went to this Brazilian steakhouse beforehand where like they just come out and just carve meat off of a stick onto your plate. And you're just like,
Texas
do you want
Day
this?
Brazil or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, they just come over and like 17 different types of meat and like random people just like, do you want? Yes. Okay. And then they cut it off and they put it on your plate and it's like,
is it Fogo de Chao? Is that the name of that?
Fogo de Chao, and there's one in Kansas City. Yeah, that's Fogo de Chao. It's like it's basically an endless meat smorgasbord. It's amazing.
You guys are coming at me.
You're gonna spend $100 a person, but it's amazing.
Yeah, it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
You just have a little.
We know where we have to go
when you're ready for more meat.
We know where we have to go eat for every event from now on.
Yeah, I was gonna say anytime I'm gonna celebrate anything, I'm just going to the Brazilian steakhouse and eating myself into a meat.
Don't even take the meat off the sword. Just give it to me.
Just put the whole.
You can just leave it here. It's fine. It's good.
I'm just gonna eat that motherfucker off like a corn on the cob. There he is.
Hey,
damn.
Sorry, my computer, my GPU literally just crashed.
I was gonna say it looked like you were. We let Corey in and you left. It was
Corey came in and
just
my GPU said no.
There's not enough room for that much greatness.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody had to go.
Somebody had to go.
Somebody. Oh my God, Corey! We've heard about pretty much everybody else's New Year's. I didn't do anything fun. I slept. But what'd you do?
What did I do? I went next door.
It is a pretty bitchin' next door, though.
Yeah, no, we actually had a really good party next door. It was a good time. Everybody had a good time. But man, I tell you what, I've switched careers, and I'm no longer working nights, and it is hard to stay up past 9:30. Like I'm officially like an old man now.
Oh, so in about 20 minutes here, you're gonna turn into a pumpkin. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Oh no, that happened 20 minutes ago.
No, that's why he was late. Look at his eyes. Look at his sleepy little eyes.
First off, I always come prepared with bags under my eyes, so I always look tired. But no, it's true, man. Working, I've never been a morning person. I've never had a morning time job, and this is my first time doing it. And you definitely get tired when you wake up earlier.
Yeah.
As a detective, when do you have to be in now?
I like to go in at 6.
6 a.m.
Yeah, I
when
get
is
up
he
around,
supposed to be there? Is the question.
So I get up. I get up around 5. I get ready. I go to work at 6. I leave at 1 because we are authorized to work out at work, and I work out until like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then I go home. So it's a sweet gig. I'm not gonna lie.
It sounds like your life sucks.
I know, dude. It's terrible, and I get like all the comp time I want, so I can just build up free vacation days. It's awful.
Fuck.
There's no industrial shelving trying to guillotine.
I've been off. I've been off for the last 5 days, and I used 0 vacation.
Oh fuck, dude! Fuck your life.
God, and you were giving me shit about this deal in Florida. Have you decided about that, by the way? What does your schedule look like?
The schedule is not great. The schedule is not great for it. I do want to go, so I'm going to try and finagle it. But there's some family stuff going on, and I got to make sure that's taken care of first.
That's the real dirty F word.
No, it is the F-iest word, but yeah, no. If I can get that taken care of, then yes. If not, then no. But I do absolutely want to go. It looks like an amazing time, and I know having been instructed by Jessen before, like I already know, like even if he was the only person I knew that was going, I would still go. But
What's going on in Florida?
So Jessen is part of this thing called, it's like Protector Summit or something like that.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a 3-day course that includes tack shooting,
Oh, okay.
combatives, mixed martial arts, powerlifting. Like it's just a whole shebang of
It's just
stuff.
it sounds like a testosterone camp.
It's
Yes.
it's a breathing Viagra pill.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
you live in it.
It's
I've-
also, but it's also got like a spiritual element to it. So it's a real interesting concept.
I've never been a part of any of those types of programs, but I think it would be fun to go into like one of the most extreme ones and just do everything at once. Just dive in like
That seems like what this is. So this seems like a weird cross between like a self-help seminar and learn how to do all the cool shit you want to do seminar. Like for me, this will be like, hopefully I pick up some new shit, try to see how much I can knock the rust off of some things. And then mainly it's just to hang out with Jessen. Cause like, I really want to, like this year, I really want to like spend some time learning like tac med shit and shooting more and get back into like Brazilian jiu-jitsu and fucking boxing and stuff. And I've actually like got the schedule where I can do that now. So this seems like a good kickoff point for it.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something I'm interested in doing. So if I can go lift heavy stuff and shoot stuff, I'm always game.
It's like world-class talent too. It's like the shooting courses are taught by like a couple SEALs. There's like a world champion power lifter who like teaches people like proper form and some other shit. There's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, a Muay Thai world champion.
Yeah, I went through the list of tags on the Instagram post, and I mean it's from kind of, I mean, intro level guys that you can tell they're just getting into like social media and their career path and stuff, to guys with like 500,000 followers that are, like he said, world champions, or like the Full Spectrum Warrior guy. A couple other Kit Cope, that's who it was, which I've heard his name a few times. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of talent that's going to be there, and anytime you get to be around that stuff, it's interesting. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
I'm going to
I really
try
want
and make it
some
out there with you. We'll see. We'll see if it works out.
It's the first weekend of February, so I'm gonna look at getting tickets soon.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to
dude.
ask about Wayne though.
Yes.
Who's
We do
Wayne?
need to talk about Wayne.
Who's Wayne? Oh, there's Wayne.
Fuck's that?
Yeah, let's talk about Wayne.
Who's Wayne?
Yeah.
Wayne, I wanted the pigs, not
Yeah.
you. Put the under desk cam on.
Put the under desk. Artanis isn't in here right now.
Ah.
He's busy now.
So Wayne, what do you do? How do people know what you do? Like, who is Wayne?
Wayne is I'm a video production, I guess an owner, CEO in Kansas City. So I run Gasman Media. My production company started about 5 years ago. I come from about 7 years of doing news. Tulsa, Oklahoma is where I started. That's where I was born and raised. Kind of worked. I ended up eventually, after getting out of school, having to jump around jobs for a while. Landed in news a couple years, and then came up to Kansas City for a pay raise, and then kind of got tired of chasing cop cars and decided to start my own business. So, and it's taken off from there. So
That's cool.
Yeah, I would remember. Like, I always think the most interesting thing about working for yourself is I worked so hard when I worked at the news station for a simple A7S Mark I camera, a 24-70 lens, and a drone. I worked scrimping and scraping just anything to get those three things together. So I had a little kit and a small junk tripod that now Corey owns. And
Wait. To clarify, when he says junk tripod, this is something I personally cannot afford.
yeah.
Continue.
I scraped everything together to get those. And then once I had my company and I started off, like, I doubled my gear the next year in 1 year.
Wow.
And then I doubled it again the year after. And so it's like, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is amazing that you get to see where the money comes in and then where it goes to you reallocate your resources.
Yeah, to break this down, he has what I like to call the money van,
Mhm.
which is just like
When he
$500,000
said-
worth of shit on wheels.
Yeah. When he could have just stopped saying I am a video production. He doesn't have to say CEO or anything. He is just literally a video production. Dude, the dude is incredible. If you've ever seen the inside of his van, it's it's absolutely.
Is it like my dream? Is it like my dream? Because like honestly, Wayne, like my
If
path
you
is
have
wanting
to
do
ask,
this
you
thing.
already know.
Yeah,
Carl,
I'm not
you-
creative or smart enough to
But
know
it's like-
everything I would need to make a video to say that's my dream, because it's more. It's just if you were to think of everything you needed to make a video production and put it into a van, that's what Wayne has. Like he literally showed up to Broken Home and we made the hitters in 6 hours with just his van. Like it's ridiculous. It's sound, video, lighting. He can tell you more, but
It's some shit you would see some hottie dickhead on YouTube be like, well, this is my setup.
yeah.
Wayne's just in the background petting his pig with his foot. Like, I don't give a fuck. That's just my van, man.
Again, coming from a news background, I liked doing everything. So I was like, when I kind of started my own business, I was like, well, I don't want to just pigeonhole myself into just shooting because I've been technically shooting video since I was 14 and I'm 35 now. So I've been doing it for over 20 years. So I'm just shooting video. And not a lot of people can say that. I got a lot of the bullshit learning stuff out of the way right when I was young with my 2 younger brothers.
A lot of the hard lessons out.
Yes. And so when I started my company, I kind of like, instead of just, accumulating money, I actually like putting stuff back into gear, tools that I can use to then make more money. And so it's funny. Again, I started out with just a RAV4 and I like had C stands that I would take they're called turtle base, where you take the base off. So you just shove the rad part and the legs in there so it all fits and you cram everything into a RAV4. And now I'm in a mid-size, mid-length Ford Transit 350. And this is like, I like sometimes just stay in the van. I'm like, how did I get here? Like, I don't remember how I got here in just like 5 years.
Well, as somebody who's 7 years younger than you, I hope I'm at the same point in 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we got a good question
path.
there's a good question here that has to do with getting started and that stuff. Brandon Wilbanks is asking, Wayne, what was your first step to getting gigs as a private business?
So a lot of it comes down to being open and being open to being diverse. So I would say news helped me because I kind of learned my city for 4 years.
Yeah.
We learn the back streets. We meet all kinds of individuals. I met one of the ladies that she's very involved in like bringing films to Kansas City and whatnot very early on in the news industry. She was one of the first people that I interviewed. So I meet all these different people all over the place. And then when I kind of spin off, where I'm already kind of on a first name basis with some of these people that we interview over and over again. So I could kind of branch myself out that way. But really what a huge part of when I started was my colleagues, they actually went before me. And so I had 2 colleagues, specifically Lucas Cohen and Mitch Weber. They jumped out ahead of me and they started their companies about a year before me. And they just kept telling me for a full year, I just kept hearing, when are you going to quit? Come on, jump. Like,
wow,
we'll
that sounds
you.
like my friends. Yeah.
They're like, just jump. And so I just free falled. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's see what this goes. And they kind of fed me stuff here and there. I kept my, I would say the probably most important thing starting is keeping your overhead very, very low. I never was like, oh, I got to have an office. Oh, I got to have this. Oh, I got to have that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I basically kept it bare minimum. I was working out of the house. I was editing from a laptop because some company that I worked for, they kind of shoehorned me into getting a really powerful laptop. That's a whole nother story. So I kind of was working my whole business off a laptop for the first couple of years. And then again, just slow increases. And just when money came in, I just went back out. It went right back into tools and gear and growing my business. Cause I really enjoy what I do. Like, and hands down, like even my fiance, she even kind of always comments on, she goes, I've never met somebody that actually like loves what they do. And I love what I do.
And that's true.
Cool.
That's true of every business. Like t-shirts. I was working out of a 2-car garage with a manual press for 5 years. Like
I work
out
out of my bathroom.
Yeah. But I mean, that's where you start. I mean, that's where you start. And as long as your concept's good and you have good business sense, man, you're going to grow and you're going to acquire the things you need as you need them. That's kind of like Wayne said, he doubled his equipment because he needed it.
Well, so here's like a more specific kind of kick on that is as far as like advertising yourself and going out, because I think that's kind of what he said first step of getting gigs. Like, you set up your private business, you've got at least a little bit established. Like, what is it you did specifically to transition that into like getting your first job? Like, was that a friends and family thing? Were you leveraging connections that you made in the media world beforehand? Like,
can I take a guess? Like, I think a lot of it is where a lot of people told me, where it's like, you just have to take the fucking jump. And I think Corey and Eric and like can agree with me on all this. It's like,
right. But I think what he's trying to say is like, how did you find those gigs, those first paying gigs? I know how I got mine, and I guarantee it's probably different than yours, but what was your first ones that you can remember, Wayne?
Let's see. So like the first couple of You know what's funny? It's just recommendations. I've never had to advertise myself. I've
Word of
never had
mouth.
to advertise. Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
word of mouth. You do like this, and I tell people this all the time. It doesn't matter if I'm getting paid $300 or $30,000 for a job. You're going to get the quality that I like.
Produce.
And what I don't produce garbage. That's like, and that's always been kind of my rule.
Wait, I was supposed to be paying you?
Yeah, yeah, Corey. So I show up to stuff, I kick ass, and then that person in turn will turn around and almost tell me 3-4 more other jobs.
Yeah.
I even do free stuff. Like a lot of the stuff I do in town, it's like up and coming like young guys that are like still getting kind of just coming to the industry. They're fresh out of school, which it's funny. Like they're so far ahead of where I was even in school. Like it's insane. And I'll come out, help them out with my professional stuff. And then they in turn be like, oh dude, Wayne did this like awesome thing for me. And so like, they'll push my name out to like, and then just random names will find me. And I always ask that too. I'm like, so how did you get my name? And it's funny. Like a lot of times I don't even know who the person was that recommended me. Like it was this one person through another pushed them to me. And then I got the paying gig for it. And then you establish a reputation of being very good at your job and being always being looking awesome or working well and low headache for them. People will bring you back every time.
Yeah, reputation is everything.
Did self promotion. You always did it through your work. Like when you first started, I mean, realistically, when probably a lot of this stuff like Instagram and Facebook were probably very small.
They were
like,
very
probably so like there probably wasn't like an established basis to like promote yourself like there is now today.
Not really. I had certain individuals, Scott Jolly, he's a local guy here in town, been doing stuff here for like 15 years. And I put a post out on Facebook when I started. I'm like, hey, I'm starting this. I don't know where this is going to go. And I met him one time at a gear meetup that he had in town for other freelancers. And he's like, well, let's go get lunch. I'll buy you lunch. Let's talk about what you can offer. And so he was already in with Hallmark, John Deere, all those bigger companies. And so I kind of like got worked in with his thing very early on for a couple of years. So
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of these people need to get these projects made. And sometimes they just need whoever can do the job. And half the time they're competent and half the time they're bags of shit. And like, if you're competent enough and people say your name enough, you pretty much will never have to look for work ever again, unless you can squeeze in your own projects.
And Wayne and I can probably both agree on this. Like, it's all about efficiency. A lot of it comes down to like how quickly can you produce something, whatever their like Wayne said, if it's a $3,000 job or $30,000 job or even $300 job. Like, it's all about like quality and efficiency. Like I've learned that through the years. Like I know I get burned where if I take too long on a certain project and like I know I won't get the reputation from that because I took too long on it. That's something, and that's something I'm working on is like trying to get my turnaround time not to be such a lazy piece of shit and just be like get it out the door.
My only addition to that is the most important thing you can ever learn to sell is yourself.
Oh yeah,
that's it. And when he's talking about references, because it's really funny because this is like one of the few times that in a professional capacity, my world kind of dips into y'all's because I do sales. This is what I do for a living. Marketing yourself and understanding how to sell yourself. A lot of the time, it just comes down to looking professional, acting professional, and understanding what you're saying, and not needing to fake sincerity is a huge thing. Yeah, don't bullshit people. That's not the way to get. That's not the way to get ahead in stuff.
I have legitimately got jobs because I had I had the guy that was doing the hiring process. He's like, for doing the bids, he's like, you were the only guy that didn't blow smoke up our ass. He goes, you were very honest. You came into the meeting just very humble. You're like, this is what we can do. And then we shot stuff at you and you're like, oh, hell no, we can't do that. Not in that budget. You're very straightforward. You weren't trying to kiss our ass. It goes, that's why we picked you.
Yeah. It's quality over quantity, man. Bid yourself into a position like where you're going to get what you're worth. Don't underbid yourself. It's not worth it. I've lost customers because I might have been more expensive, but they've always come back because the quality. It's happened almost every single time somebody's been like, "Oh, we're going with so and so this time." Oh, okay, cool. And then
I
next
have
time
quite
they
a few
order,
clients like that.
oh, they come back. It's like, oh man, that extra $1 would have made a big difference because look, your prints are cracking. That's
And there's a lot to be said for not like burning bridges and not shitting on that competition, because that will never make you look good.
Yeah,
Talking shit
no,
about another
no.
better competitor will never make you look good. It never
let them
helps.
figure it out the hard way. Just okay, cool, good luck.
Exactly.
We had a situation like that here because I'd already been well known in the community. It's probably about 3 years in already, and I'm not gonna name names, but it was 3 days of on set. It was a freebie. I was doing it as a favor. I was treated like absolute trash on set. Nobody was paying attention to stuff. I would speak, nobody would listen. I was running audio for the shoot too, and I was so mad at that set, and I bitched about it. And people went after the person that had brought me on, being like, "What the hell did you do to Wayne?" He goes, "He doesn't get mad at anything, and he's pissed. Like, what did you do?" I was like,
you never know when that could transition into something you can leverage. Like I always tell people this, like I've got customers that I don't like, or I've got people I run into in my job that I don't like. The old adage of keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Like there's some people, sometimes you just want to blow up and burn that bridge. It's like, fuck that guy, fuck this dude, never want to be around him again. But there's 9 times out of 10, there's a way to leverage that dickhead into getting something that you want later on down the road, because everyone has connections. Everybody is tuned in with somebody else. Yeah. So what you do is you keep, just keep in touch. Like, just understand who they are and what they are. Don't trust them with anything, but there's no reason to like completely chop that professional line off just yet, because you never know what it turns into.
Yeah, and it's just like, even I'm a person too. I'm very vocal about that stuff, and that set that was really bad. I even brought it up. I'm like, listen, dude, like this sucked. I've never been on a paid set that was this stressful and this terrible. Like, much less a freebie set that I was mistreated on. And he gave me this automated corporate response. And I'm like, bro, I came out on a set for free. Do not give me a corporate response. That was like, he's like, oh, well, if you have a problem with the set, I would like you to like list it all in this email. I'm like, excuse me? I came out for free. Like, this is not how this works.
Yeah.
Well, it was not a good situation. But I mean, it's one of those things. Years have gone by. I've done multiple projects with them still. It's fine. But it's just, that kind of stuff like that. Like, I was very careful after that, being like, how many of these freebie projects are these people just taking advantage of the fact that, I have a kit and I'm good at what I do and they don't have to think about it.
How long can you keep shitting on the Siege project until Corey picks up on the fact that we're shitting on the Siege project?
It's not Siege, trust me.
He did not run audio on Siege, so I know he's not talking about Siege.
The Siege project, we are waiting on VFX from you, Corey, still. But that is...
I get them in dumps, and then I do them, and then I send them back. Sometimes
hey, man. I was hoping all the VFX stuff would have got fixed before Hitters came out. Do we
want to show what Corey was actually working on the entire time?
No, listen, I worked on Hitters for a day and a half. Actually, I did it twice because I had 10 hours into the VFX and sound, and then my computer totally just made it disappear. No clue what happened. Listen, the Premiere project file gone, the VFX file's gone, everything gone, just disappeared. I have no clue what happened. I think what happened, and maybe you can speak to this because I'm new to Premiere, is if you import a file with the same file name, it'll just destroy everything. Like
sounds like a 2022 Premiere issue.
Yeah, that sounds like a 2022 issue.
Yes, so everything disappeared, and so I got up the next morning wanting to put a bullet in my head and redid the entire thing in a day and put it out.
To be fair, I did have Siege almost fully color graded, and then whenever Adobe 2022 came out, all my color grades went away. I'm like, what? No, but, you jerk! So I'm having to go back and redo my color grades.
So anyway, if you want to know what I was working on, it was another film that it was a fun experimental shoot. That it wasn't anything to be taken super seriously. Wayne showed up with all his gear like he always does. We had no script, no shot list. We were making it up as we went along. I just had an idea in my head and I just wanted to do something for practice where I could take it, do the VFX sound and everything all on my own. Are we going to watch it?
Oh, imagine that. I can make shit work on here now.
I made Jennifer Lynn be an audio op. It was really funny.
Yeah, and then I took it over. And listen, the most jacked up audio one, I know for a fact I was holding the boom on it. I totally biffed it. I biffed the audio. I think I forgot to record too, so all we had was like the boom audio.
So if anybody wants to know what like 5 assholes at camera and a little bit of free time can do, because we shot this like before gameplay at Broken
Where
Home.
was this?
Or not before gameplay,
Yeah.
Friday.
This is
at
in
Broken Home.
Wyandotte, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Broken
Broken
Home.
Home.
Well, let's do since there's no sound, let's do commentary over it. They're not hearing sound, are they?
Yeah, they are. Or they should.
No.
be.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can. Yeah, I can.
Okay, well, hopefully they can hear us.
But it's low, so we can still talk.
So this is the first night. We just randomly walked out to the bridge downtown Oklahoma City. This shot is cool. It really is cool with all the traffic and stuff going underneath.
Mendoza's so menacing, even though like he's like the nicest man on human.
Dude,
Right.
I know, man, he turns it on. He looks like he just walked
I
away
know.
from murdering somebody.
I know.
But
He's like a Mexican Big Lebowski.
yeah,
Yes.
everybody essentially came to my house that night, and then David Lee ran the camera for this. We shot this in about 2 hours.
Yeah, and I was coming off of a long trek, and I was supposed to go down there, but I was like, man, I don't want to add 5 more hours to my travel
But
time.
man, what you do not realize about audio is how horrible it is until you master it. And like you have to go in, you have to clean up every time somebody talks because there's background stuff because we're shooting in a park. Well, then once you clean it up, all that noise disappears. So you have to make all that noise disappear and then bring in ambient sound, which I had to go and purchase. Like the cell phone vibrating, that's fake. The people laughing and playing in the playground or whatever, the motorcycle noises driving in the background, that's all fake.
Foley is a real thing. Like it's
Cool,
crazy what
but
people
it's
can
cool
do.
though when you see it come together. So I mean,
I can't hear it,
like
by
I
the
said,
way.
I wanted to learn. That's what this whole thing was practice for me.
I was impressed, like the way all the audio. I was like, oh, Courtney, a good job for his first one. That was pretty dope.
But I mean, the music obviously is just purchased. It doesn't. I had to make it work as good as I could. So, but yeah, I did the color grading.
Now I hear it. Okay.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, there it is.
We still got to teach Mendoza how to smoke a cigar. For the love of God.
Yeah, he was straight. He was riding the struggle bus on that. But this is where Wayne picks up. This is all shot by Wayne. This is at the D-Day Adventure Park. American Milsim let us go out there and shoot the day before the game.
It's a sweet patch.
That is a sweet patch. Whose patch is that?
I don't know.
I'm trying to sneak that into every production I ever work on from here on out.
Do it.
So good.
I do have people that mention the patches all the time and all the films that I'm in. They're like, why do all your guys like wear these funny patches? Like it's kind of like a low key joke thing.
Yeah, it really is. Look at that sniper rifle effect. Yeah, that's impressive.
Can we talk about that fucking Land Cruiser though?
Oh my god,
What's funny
Blake's
is it
Land Cruiser's dope.
Well, it makes it work too. It just looks like it's like some kind of cool terrorist unit.
Hold
It looks
on.
almost uniform.
That is my favorite thing about this entire short is how she just gets fucking beefed with a large caliber round. Like this was whenever we were doing this scene, I could not stop laughing because it's just the thought of like out of all the people he shoots directly with the fucking rifle,
the chick
that gets a little 110-pound fucking.
I will give this. That's Naomi.
Yeah,
Naomi is such a badass though. I love working with her.
She did that hard pull probably 2 or 3 times, and it was awesome.
Yeah, Ronan's stunt company was great because like what you don't see is like the way they did this was really cool.
The first few things I did with them, and I was like, "You guys are something very special."
Yeah.
If we can get you in the right hand.
See if you can back it up to where she first gets out of the truck.
That's got to be a Simon AK.
Go forward to when she first gets out of the truck.
The tag might still actually be on the gun.
It's just like it's just like a cut right there.
Right, it is, but she has a rope attached to her that I had to go in and paint out. So if you can see where there's kind of like a weird, like sharp, shadowy line, I had to go and paint out that rope for like 6 or 7 frames. That is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Right there.
Oh, rotoscoping.
Yeah. So
right behind her elbow.
It's definitely
my VFX buddies, Sean Joseph or my youngest brother Jeremy Gassman, like they'll tell you about rotoscoping is the most ridiculous thing. If they said just crank up the music and just you're sitting there just painting like every frame.
I'm literally feathering around her elbow. Like you can see it's slightly discolored. I mean, you can't see it when it's running at full speed, but dude, it's so weird. Those are the things you're proud of that nobody will ever know. I was so proud of myself for figuring it out because, Wayne caught it and we shot the clean plate, which means she's not in there. So we have something to clean it up and put behind it. It was just, it's cool. All right. You can continue. Enough nerd stuff.
I see it now.
Yeah, you could see it, but you would never see it at full speed. Yeah, she gets beef. And these are GBLS guns that we were lent by David Lee and Tony Patton.
I saw this part and I thought it was very good. I was like, okay, that's not bad.
Ben's.
Yeah.
The only thing I wish you would have left is his scream.
No, I
was
tried.
like,
and I couldn't get it to clean up and work.
Yeah, I figured that's what it was. Ben is also very talented.
I left the crash pad. Look, I left the crash pad.
I saw it.
Because I was going to try and do it wide angle, and then I just decided not to.
Yeah, there's no good way to do it. What I love here is like you cut out like the whole part in the storyline where we didn't know she was supposed to be in the truck. So I make this goofy ass fucking expression.
Yeah, I cut it. I tried to cut around it as much as I could because it just didn't make sense. Again,
Because I look like she just ripped ass on me whenever I pulled the cover up. Like, like I yank that cover back and it's like, oh, boobies. Gross.
Ew, it's a girl.
And what's cool this whole time is she has this just this short little part, but she was holding the audio bag the whole time, helping with audio.
Yep.
I wish you'd have gotten more of you yanking up because the first take you did, that thing skid like a good 3 feet. It was great.
Yeah. Well, so it did skid, but I cut a lot of that out because I had some goofy line like we were being chased, and we never did that scene,
Wait,
so I
go.
got rid of it. Miguel dies twice.
Miguel dies probably in the worst ways because he's the one I do the fuck you shot on when I'm walking past. Just the dead chick. Oh man. So yeah, look at that. The Corey spit take is the
Corey
best.
Haynes. I know that guy.
Wait, I give myself so many credits. Wait, it keeps going.
Oh, I know. I kept
there's
watching
another.
him.
Look at all these credits. I wasn't a stuntman, unfortunately.
I
did do visual effects.
I like how the top
Edited-
changes.
It just changes the top. Just changes.
I like Doza.
Yeah, dude. It was listen, it was such a fun project, and I was like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this because we shot it, and I tried to link up with Wayne to get the files, and I wasn't able to, so I had to wait for him to upload the files, which was like a day or two, and then I got him, and then he had sent the audio, and I was like, I don't know anything about audio. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, awesome, it's synced up. I don't know how to clean it up, but I mean, you just kind of like he said, man, he wanted to learn everything. And that's why he's good at what he does. And that's why he makes money. He can get hired to go and be a first AC. He can be hired to go and do audio and stuff. And that's kind of, I don't want to do those things, but I want to know how they work so I can have those conversations with the people I'm working with on set. I think that's important.
And that's exactly how I've lived my entire professional career. Is like, I think I've worked with so many like news directors and people that had never worked on the lower tiers, and they only know what the upper echelon is like, and so they only know the high income parts and how to point the finger, but they don't actually know how to lead. So that's why it's like my whole career I was like, I've always been about learning how to do the low end stuff, so that way I know what to expect out of my people whenever I do bring them on.
Yeah,
because it's like if I don't know what to expect, I don't know what good or bad is. Like, as long as I know how to do it, I'm like, it's one of those things too. I never ask anybody to do something that I wouldn't do myself.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's knowing all the roles, especially if you're trying to delegate. I think that's super important. At least dabbling and getting your feet wet in it. You don't have to go do it professionally for 5 years to know how to tell somebody to do it. I mean, they're going to understand, even if you're totally wrong. They're going to understand what you meant, and they're going to go and make it happen.
Somewhat of the permission, yeah.
Because I mean, like on Tennis Swords, I think on the last day, man, I was running lights for Wayne all day, like. Don't complain about it. Just do it. Learn how the things work. Learn how to set them up. Learn how to adjust the power on them. Just all those little things, man. Because then on the next set, I can tell Wayne like, hey, I think we should throw this light over here, run it at like 30%. Let's go. And
I never turn down another idea. It's like I don't ever claim to know everything. So I'm always like, someone's like, hey, I think blah blah blah. I'm like, awesome, sounds great. Let's try it.
Yeah, it's not like they're asking you to shovel shit. Like, you're learning soming. It's a usable trade. So just try to.
I'm assuming if you're willing to take in and put in the long hours to do the job, the very least you could do is at least keep an open mind and learn what you're doing.
Well, exactly. It's more minds than one, right? Like, adapting in that scenario. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, it's like acting on SCP Overlord, freaking awesome, freaking cool. But the
I wanna
whole
do an
time,
SCP
man, I'm just paying attention to what's going on behind the
project
scenes,
videos.
and to me, that is far more interesting. And I was like, dude, I could totally do this. Like, I want to try and do this. And then I talked to Wayne, and Wayne's like, well, you're kind of an idiot, but if you want to do it right, like, I'll come in and I'll make you
I'll
look
speak
good, man.
slowly.
Yeah,
I
I can bring picture books. I'll
I just
explain it
said
to you and everything.
I just said if you want it done right, to call me.
Yeah.
Well, and it's nice to know like how shit, because we're probably gonna run into a lot of this because Corey is gonna be cadre for Milsim West NATO at Salsk. So I am currently learning how to run all of his comms because I know he's not going to fucking bother
No,
to.
I will not. I'm going to think about it right now and forget about it right after we're done with the podcast.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Because I'm a moron.
So anybody that this is kind of transitioned to a little bit of the airsofty shit because Wayne plays airsoft too, which
I
is
do.
fucking. He's
That's
part
where we
of our
met.
ridiculous little fucking hobby. But Corey and I are both going to be at Milsim West, the Oklahoma game at Battle Ranch. Salsk, is it Salsk or is it Salsk? I always just call it Salsk.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So I've been going through the tax op. I've been ordering shit like a madman. I think I've spent like $1,200 putting my ruck together. You don't have to spend that much money. You can do it with like bargain bin bullshit and have a perfectly wonderful time. I'm just a bougie bitch and I wanted nice things. Plus this is all stuff that I'm like going to use in my regular like outdoorsy ish life that I fantasize having that I don't actually do. So a lot of it's just going to sit in the closet and collect dust. Don't you shake your head at me, punk, you fucking piece of shit. But part of that is like learning how to do the comms matrix and kind of figuring out how this stuff works. Because I really have no idea what to expect. Because with Corey being in cadre, I'm assuming I'm just going to get thrown into a random squad. Josh hasn't reached out or like asked me anything about doing anything else other than that. I don't know how I'm getting assigned to things. And most of the homies, like the guys that I know that go to Milsim West, are all on militia. Derek's on militia. Ian's on militia. All those dudes are doing.
If I was going, I'd be on militia too.
Yeah, like everybody's going to militia. So like I'm gonna be the one. I'm probably just gonna get rolled in with a bunch of random dudes and just make horrible comments the entire fucking time.
Yeah, I honestly have no clue what to expect. So I'm interested. Hopefully it's a good experience.
No matter what, you guys are gonna have a good time. It's a
I
Milsim
think
West
so.
game, and it's chaotic as shit. But obviously they run a good crew. So
Yeah, because at fucking Caspian they had 800 people.
That's
insane.
that's insane.
800 people.
That's a lot of people.
Fucking, and the footage from that, like, God, dude, credit to David Lee because holy shit. Some
I'll
of the
give it
footage
to. I saw the video. I'm like, damn, that looks pretty good. Now, granted, I've told him many times, don't take that FX6 into combat, but he does it anyways. And the shots look great.
he
looks
fell off a
fantastic.
roof at Copperhead with it, so you know.
Yeah, he did
it's-
fall off the roof at Copperhead.
It's been
with it.
dinged.
and it's been hit by a motorcycle or what was it? It was at a
Yeah,
motocross event.
I was out there. Yeah, it's
it's
just like we put it in the one place. We swear to God, nothing would happen. Here comes the motorcycle,
part of it was
jumps,
just like
hits it, rams the wall, and right into the camera. It's like,
It's
yeah.
awesome, dude.
how ridiculously
It only
cinematic
happened
everything
to
was
David
there,
too.
like because there's just a random cell phone footage video of like the Russian team, like a platoon jogging through the streets with the street lamps are on and it's bucket ass pouring down rain and they're all like chanting shit in Russian and it's like I was like, holy fuck, dude, this looks awesome.
I think it'll be fun
Yeah.
to play with a bunch of people that are really into it. I really think it'll be.
And I think that's
it'll be
what
fun.
makes Milsim West is the people and like their like the
Absolutely.
diehards. They're
it pushes you to want to be that extra. It really
It does.
does. When everyone around you is like, even when I was like the one that I've been to where they'll teach you the Russian words. Like if you hear this, it means this. If you hear these words, it means this. And if you hear them, echo them. So that way your entire crew, you know,
No.
Yeah.
it's a, you know, granted, I was at one of the ones that didn't have a lot of the buildings and stuff like that. Also looks like a lot of fun. The insurgency events look amazing, but I can already tell you guys are going to have an experience. So
Is this game in Oklahoma an insurgency event or
Battle
is it-
Ranch. It's not
Yeah, I think-
insurgency. It's
I think it's around. It's around.
Force
I think it's in
Force.
Ardmore, which is like an hour and a half from my house. So
Got it.
really, no excuses to not show up.
Yeah, so I'm
Well-
like, and I've been going through like all this shit because I like knew kind of about what was required. I didn't realize how much shit was actually required.
oh yeah,
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, I got to start looking at that list. So
Well, me and Cole
That'd be
were
interesting.
pre-show. We're talking about also Southern Front of like that
Mhm.
being a thing, and like I actually want to come down for that, and that's mid-February. So
Yes, the 19th. 19th
Yeah.
and the 20th. Bring
coming
your
to
chicks
y'all
down here.
Yep, I'll come to y'all.
Come down here. Do it.
yeah, it'll be
'Cause
fun.
that'll be a good time because we got who else coming with us to that right now, Corey? Because it's
I think
45
right
minutes
now,
from me,
honestly,
so-
right now, I think it's just you and me.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cuddle time.
I'm-
I love it.
Maybe
I'm in.
Miguel's talked about it a little bit, but right
Oh,
now I
nice.
think it's just, and maybe Chavez. I think that's
Chavez. I
Yeah.
love Chavez. He's one of your SCP alum buddies.
Yes.
I've legitimately not shot an airsoft gun in almost 2 years now, so I'm in.
That's a
I
sad
went
thing.
to the D14 swap meet on Saturday. I played one game, got my shit fried. Died 3 times in a row. Didn't get I don't even think I got a single shot off. I just got hosed. Because there was just because it was a swap meet, so there were like 300 people there, and it's just like you couldn't walk without getting shot in that game.
Yeah.
It was cool, but it's a great field. It was just way too crowded for me at that point. I went out, I was like, cool. Like I got some movement in. I got to run my new belt around. I don't even give a shit that I didn't shoot anybody. It just felt good to get out. And I found the chest rig that I needed for Salsk at the swap meet. So everything's good to go. But I definitely am trying to get out to. I think I'm gonna go out to 878 this weekend or next, depending on how butt frigid cold it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about playing cold games. Again, I haven't done a ton of airsoft just the last couple of years. It's like a Broken Home, the last one. I was like, my brothers and I grew up on that, so I was like, we have to do this. Like, we only missed the one that was like during 2020, whenever they switched it to October. That was the only Broken Home that we had ever missed, and we were doing it before it was Broken Home, when it was still what was
Oklahoma Invasion.
Oklahoma Invasion. We've been literally doing it since they did it in what's that little field? Kashistan, like the little field they had in Oklahoma. Like when it started there, we were doing it then. And so, I mean, my brothers and I grew up with Frosty and JP and Bo. Like they watched us all the way through, and they're actually a huge part of how my business got started too. Was when I got out and started my own company, JP reached out and she goes, I was waiting for one of you boys to do your own thing. And so that's how I started doing videos for AMS.
Yeah.
They were kind of watching me.
I will never not snipe at a non-mount side game ever again. The Milson West is the only exception to that, just because they're only allowed like one sniper team per team, and it's like not fun.
I've never had
tryhardy.
I've never had success with snipers with airsoft.
Yeah, me neither.
Next game, I'll have to let you use my gun because
Cole
stupid.
Cole claps cheeks with it, and then we had that one random kid that walked up beside us at reindeer games, dude, and just waxed like a platoon, and then was like, "All right, I'll see you guys later," and then left. We're like, "What the?"
I'm sitting behind this giant tree, and I'm like, I literally said it. I was like, "Fuck! I wish I should have brought my sniper rifle out." Why did I run the MCX? And this kid just comes up next to me, and he's like, "You need a sniper?" I was like, "Over there," and he like 1, 2, 3, 4.
What is he using?
5.
What is this gun?
I think it was just a Novrich.
Yeah, it was a Novrich. No, because we were on the downside of a hill in the wood line right outside the city, like the entrance into the city, and we had like a whole platoon stack up.
Yeah,
so
it wasn't
I just
crazy distance.
Yeah, so I said screw it, and I threw my rifle down, and I went and I just like hosed them all with one grenade. And we were trying to get back up, like, because they had medics coming in to try and keep them down and get their medics while they were trying to bring out their guys back in. And we just couldn't, because we were still pinned down. There were still dudes. There was a guy with a LMG in like in a bombed out building, just hosing us down. Well, that's when the sniper kid comes up and just starts popping like their medics just left and right, dude. And every time he pulls the trigger, you hear somebody yell "hit." It was pretty funny.
I have never heard more BBs hit a structure than when I was behind that tree trunk at one point, and I swear 5 LMGs just went, and it was like just it sounded like an aluminum shed in a rainstorm. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ!
That's also the only successful grenade toss I've ever had. The other 2 that I tried almost killed my own team twice. So I was trying to get them through windows. Turns out that's really hard. Unlike you see in Black Hawk Down where they can chuck them from a mile away.
So everybody likes the Taggin 67 so much because they're heavy as shit. I don't know how they're legal, but that's why people like them. With the EGs, they got a weird flight pattern.
Yeah. So I always like I underdo it. I should just throw it like a baseball, like I always do, and I always overthink it.
Yeah. I know what you're thinking. You're afraid you're going to actually hit someone with it, is what you're thinking.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's like I grew up playing baseball, and it's like all of a sudden when I'm playing these games, and I'm trying to actually hit a kid with a grenade, like I overthink it and just like
fastball, dude.
Don't ever,
I do
it
like
never
a little,
lands where I want it to.
I do a little Hail Mary and please, dear baby Nolan Ryan, help me out.
Yeah.
And it goes right where I want it to every time.
Nah, man, it was God, that event was so good. It really was good reindeer games.
Speaking of really good, let's talk about the Book of Boba Fett.
All right, here we go. Fair battle, you piece of
10
shit.
minutes, the
I haven't
last 10
watched
minutes,
it.
We're gonna argue.
It wasn't good. I
Well,
guess
me why.
until now.
so
Tell me
opening
why.
arguments. Opening arguments. The
Okay.
prosecution will now bring their evidence.
Let's hear your
Um,
case, motherfucker.
First
Oh,
off, I'll
wait,
start
wait,
with-
wait. Is are you playing devil's advocate here, or did you actually like it?
I actually enjoyed it, and I.
Oh,
and I
sweet.
I
Oh
have-
yeah,
I
yeah.
have
Okay,
reasons why.
into.
Okay, hold
Let's
on.
move
All
on.
right,
Let me get this in
before
position.
before we tell you why you're wrong, let
Okay.
me begin.
Well,
So
okay,
here's the thing:
let's go,
things that I
motherfucker.
liked, things that I liked.
Okay.
Loved Tamara Morrison. Absolutely love him as Boba Fett.
Okay.
I love the idea of like what they're going with, this kind of like Space Sopranos angle. Love it. They clearly
Okay.
get his character right. They clearly understand the source material. Dave Filoni. I'm blanking
Stop
on the other guys.
stroking it. I want to hear what you
Favreau,
did
he's
next.
great. Okay, opening scene's great. Him getting out of Sark Pit, love it. The pacing is terrible. The dialogue is terrible. The setting, for the most part, is awful. What the fuck was that shitty ass choreography fight scene?
Oh, dude,
with the
fight
shields,
so
whatever this
bad.
goofy shit is. It looked sloppy. It looked ill put together. And why all of a sudden is he super injured? He was braining motherfuckers with sticks in The Mandalorian, which is set like a couple of weeks before this takes place, and now all of a sudden he's too broke dick to like even fight off one dickhead with a riot shield. He seems stupid too.
Yeah, they
he
made him-
seems dumber than he should be. Somebody that's been in
They made
Boba
him
Fett's
Carl in the
position,
background.
and you take the
Yeah.
oh, I came to play, motherfucker. You
Okay.
you take the source material and the, like who Boba Fett is and what he's been through and what and how he historically has always been, and that is a very shrewd, intelligent person who is keyed into his surroundings. He's not in this series. He almost dies about 3 different fucking separate times leading up to this. And I get they may be going from an angle of like he's changed or they're trying to like show more depth to his character, but they're doing it sloppily. That being said, I still have faith that the series can be very, very good. I think this could just be a build-up to like they have to like get some bullshit out of the way and then they get on with the rest of the show. Because if anybody remembers, I know everybody's so cock hungry for The Mandalorian, but the first episode of that show wasn't fucking good either.
Yes, it was. It was good.
No one.
The first, go back and watch it again.
I
I'm literally
was
going
pretty
back to the
hooked
series
on it by
again.
the
It was
first.
good. I was hooked after the first episode.
Mediocre.
Dude, he goes in there with the nanny droid. They smoke everybody in the town. He finds the kid. They have the little moment where they point at each other. The settings are great. Everything about the first episode of The Mandalorian is phenomenal.
I
It is
disagree.
good.
But first book of
Sloppy
Boba
is
Fett
the
episode
word.
was Dookie Cakes.
I thought it was.
Prosecution rests.
I thought it was terrible. It felt like a totally different show. It didn't feel like it was in the same universe, which I hated. I thought the sets were good, but the fight scenes, man, it was like Buffy the old school CW Buffy the Vampire Slayer lame fight scenes. And I was like, I thought this dude was a contract killer, and he's getting like just biffed by all these losers with shields, and he's getting beat up by a Tusken Raider, which they're like cannon fodder. So I didn't get it.
I haven't seen
You
it,
gotta be
so but it's
character
funny just
build-up.
hearing you guys all explain it.
But the
Carl.
kid, he's already been built up, dude. There's so
Dave,
much
he
more behind
has-
it.
Okay. All right. Here's okay. So up until this point, Boba Fett has only had what 6 minutes, 36 seconds of screen time that we've seen him, and that we've built him up to this level of icon. I like the fact that they did humanize him and put him in a bantha tank because he got fucked up. Like he's still
That
human.
makes sense, but him forgetting how to fight like in its entirety. Because
I
you
mean,
remember
when was the last time you got surrounded by 8 dudes doing parkour.
this shit. He's got a flamethrower on his arm. God damn it! Those shields
Okay.
don't stop fucking fire. The thing is, like a
still.
week. The inconsistency because the idea in the timeline is like a month before this, we get what happens in The Mandalorian, where he is beating the dog shit out of an entire stormtrooper platoon,
He was
like with
okay,
a stick.
so
With
what
a
I've-
knobby stick. He's got a big wooden dildo and he's breaking their fucking helmets
Okay.
open. And now you're telling me he can't fight 6 assholes with a shield with the fucking supposedly best assassin in the galaxy as his right hand.
Yes,
They both
all
get their
right,
shit mixed.
I will agree that the fight scene was very
Scenes,
what was-
plural.
Scenes, all of them.
scenes. What was the one where the scene where Rey and Kylo are fighting the internal
don't wanna
fight
hear- I
scene.
haven't-
And the third new movie, yeah, I've tried to wipe those from my brain, but when they're fighting in the throne room or whatever.
The throne
yeah.
room with Snoke when they just killed Snoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it felt very much like that. It was just kind of
Sloppy.
yeah, it was very sloppy. But so why was he with the Tusken Raiders? They explained it, they went over it within 40 minutes. They crash course that thing. How did he get out of the Sarlacc pit? They crash course that shit. I really felt like this first one was just, hey, real quick, we got a lot of shit to talk about. We're gonna get rid of all this stuff in one go. We're gonna get
It's like
rid
the
of
entire
questions.
first season of The Witcher.
Okay.
So they got a force feed, which I get. Like the whole first season, which this is a separate tangent, but the whole first season of The Witcher and the weird timelines and all that shit, it's because they have to force feed you so much fucking context.
Yes.
And if you didn't read
Now-
the books, none of it will make sense.
I like the fact that we have the ability to complain about the first episode of Boba Fett when this is something we've all been waiting for since our childhood. You know what I mean?
I think that's why I'm so
I think
hard
they
on
have
it,
an
though.
awesome team. I just don't think that it's as bad as we're talking. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was that bad.
It's not like
Listen,
I'm not
I
going to
have-
watch the rest of the series.
I personally
guess.
have
I mean-
like I watched it. I watched it and I was like, oh, that wasn't like the first episode of The Mandalorian or the first episode of The Mandalorian season 2. But I do like Jon Favreau, and I have a lot of confidence in him with Star
you have
Wars.
confidence. Yeah.
So
Well, and I see a lot of people, because I've seen a lot of idiots complain that Tamara Morrison's, I'm probably saying his name wrong, that he's too old.
he did
or
look
some
old.
shit.
He did look
But
old
he
in the
is.
fights.
He's supposed to be old. Boba Fett at this point in the timeline is an old man. So that, like, I get that, but the thing is, they made him so.
Another reason why he was getting his. I was going to say
Get
another
kicked
reason
in?
why he's getting his ass kicked by Tusken Raiders is that he's been sitting in a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, that I got.
Getting, like he come out looking like he came out looking like Darth Vader. Just
Yeah,
he was
wrinkly, like, he looked clean-skinned
dehydrated,
and shit.
sleep deprived,
He
no
was fucked
food.
up.
He was fucked up. That I got. It was like I said. It was him walking.
dragged behind.
Yeah. It was him just like not understanding the political, which I kind of get. I can get to a degree that like, oh, well, he was always just a hired gun. He never ran any of this shit. He doesn't understand how this works. But he just seems kind of dumb. He just seems kind of dumb the whole episode where he just like walks into that bar and just assumes they're going to pay tribute without a problem. And he assumes that no one's going to try to make an attempt on his life. And like he makes some good decisions. But he just seems kind of like a they did this to fucking M in the latest Bond movie where they just made him a fucking idiot. And he just kept fucking up for plot's sake. And I think that's what it is.
Think about it like this. This dude has been a contract killer this entire time. He even made the comment he's like, I used to work for that guy. How weird do you think it is for him? Like he's over here like, I thought I was you know what I mean? Like he doesn't know how to be a crime boss. He just knows he is one.
He knows
You know
how to
what I
not
mean?
get
And
killed.
so like he knows, okay, so like you meet A and B, you got to figure out how to make C. You know what I mean? So like, he's gonna stumble.
And that's
I don't know, I thought I liked how they humanized him a little bit and made him seem like he, you know, like yes, he is a badass and yes, he does take names, but like, you know, if I was like this bad motherfucker who had to be like, now I got to run shit. He's like, no, I'm not gonna have anyone carry me into town. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think if the fight
off.
choreography had been better, I would be less upset. I think it's honestly how sloppy and slow and ill-timed. Like the cuts are really bad. The way that they're fighting is really weird. The whole thing with them surrounding them with the shields, it's like, cool, you got them surrounded. I just fucking stab them. Like, what are you doing? This is dumb.
it was that whole thing seemed cheesy to me.
It was really drawn out and sloppy. I'm just like with everything at their disposal and as good as they've done with the same kind of content previously, I think that's what bothered me. Is like I've seen how good it can be, and then you gave me this.
I did like the fact, or I think it would have been better like if you were surrounded by shields instead of trying to blast it with a rocket, just put the flamethrower underneath, set one of them on fire, break the chain, and you can
make him smarter. Like you think he would kind of understand how to react in a situation like that, like to a degree, instead of just being totally deer in the headlights.
Anybody else know what's going on? No, just me.
Oh, have you not seen it?
No.
Have you? I know Wayne's seen it. Wayne, have you seen it?
What? No, I haven't seen
No.
it.
Wayne's
Let's
working. He doesn't have
go.
time. He doesn't have time for TV.
Yeah.
Let's go.
No, he's
I'm
too
busy
busy
making
putting the
TV.
siege
He's,
together.
he's busy waiting by his computer for me to upload the next Siege file.
Yep, totally. I'm just begging and praying. I'm like, dear God, please.
Please, just let him fucking put it through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's my biggest complaint with it. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still very excited for the rest of the season. I'm still gonna tune in with my bowl of cereal like a 7-year-old every single fucking Wednesday or Thursday or whenever it comes out. Yeah,
What's
like
your
I'm
cereal
going
choice?
to. I'm whipped. They've got me. I've prescribed to the sauce. I've drank the Kool-Aid. I'm just waiting on Heaven's Gate to open, motherfucker. You've got me until I'm dead. Just give me something that I'm not going to be pissed about. That's all I ask for.
I mean, we all know most TV series aren't exactly heavy hitters in episode 1.
Well, I feel
it's
like
pretty
I feel
hard
like
to do that.
certain ones, and I feel like this one needed to be. I'm going to think the same way about like when this Halo series comes out. That first episode better fucking slap, or there's going to be some serious issues with
You got
momentum.
some high expectations.
Right.
I do,
Listen,
well, so
If the Book of Boba Fett sucks, you can always watch Cobra Kai. That came out too, and it's equally as cheesy and dumb as the other 3 seasons.
I would say I
have
kind of
not
fell out
watched
of love with it after.
I didn't
2 or
watch
3.
a single episode of that.
I got some colleagues that are obsessed with it. I
Dude, it's
haven't started it yet.
I don't know, man. If you grew
It's
up watching the 80 cheese karate films and kung fu stuff, it's great. Like if you didn't, you're not going to get it. You're not going to enjoy it. So it's cheesy. It's dumb. They totally know what they're doing. They don't try to be anything else. It's great.
Well, and like I said, that's because like my big thing with why I'm going to hold the Halo series to such a ridiculous like standard is like I've seen the trailer came out and it's really funny how little of like the deep lore shit other people who I considered big nerds didn't catch.
Okay.
Because there's some things in there. There's like, you get High Charity, obviously, is the thing everyone's focusing on. But nobody's focusing on the fact that we saw the rubble from the Cole Protocol book. No one's focusing on the fact that the Spartan team we're seeing, aside from Master Chief, is fucking Gray Team. Like, that's because you see they A, have the gray armor. B, one of them has the EOD helmet. The only fucking Spartan like EOD specialist that's mentioned in any of the lore is Michael, who's from the Cole Protocol book, which we already saw the rubble, the asteroid connection, all that shit. So there's I think what they're doing is they're starting from like that timeline and going all the way through them running into like the main Halo, I guess, series or game stuff. Because they say it's like its own contained like kind of storyline.
Can we be honest and say that all previous Halo series have sucked?
They're bad.
Ooh.
They're really fucking bad. The best Halo series that has ever come out was the audiobook series, which was
Yeah.
Hunt the Truth.
Forward
and that was it.
Until Dawn was just awful.
I didn't hate that one. It was
awful.
low budget. It was low budget, but I didn't hate it. The one I really hated was that stupid fucking Into Darkness or Into Shadows or whatever.
Dude, the
fuck it
best
was.
thing that was ever done was by Neil Blomkamp, the little short that he did when he was trying to get the rights to make the movie, I think. And he ended up doing District 9 instead. But he put out that tiny little short that was freaking phenomenal. And that was it.
I know. I think I know.
Oh,
what
the
you're
one that
talking
It was a
for the-
commercial. It was
the one they used
essentially
for the
a
commercial. Yeah,
Oh,
where
wow.
like the brute comes around the corner and
Yeah.
smacks that dude into the fucking wall.
Yes.
And you see Chief's fucking drop pod coming down. Yeah, that was
It's freaking sick.
I was
that was for the intro to Halo 2, actually. It was the first, like one of the first live action commercials they did. That was amazing.
You guys saw
but
that Colton Peterson's making that cool ODST helmet that 3D
Yeah.
printed one too. I was like, damn, dude, that looks really cool.
That's pretty dope.
Well, you guys talk about the audiobooks, and actually, it's funny you say that because like the only times I've ever listened to that was actually traveling to AMS events, actually, with Derek. It's funny you say that.
They're good.
So-
I didn't realize there were like 28 fucking books. There's
I
a
think you
lot
guys
of-
were.
I
I think
didn't
you guys were
realize
talking
there were
about
many.
that on.
They're fucking
I think you
good.
guys are talking about that on the Discord, weren't you? And I need to go look those up because I do like doing audiobooks when I'm traveling.
Yeah. I used to do that
The
before I
Halo
had
ones are
friends.
good. Yeah,
Because it's so funny because a lot of the shit makes context and like they're like, how did so and so not know about this or where were these guys? Like it's a fucking multi-galaxy universe they're playing in as their sandbox. Like there's shit going on that like no one ever fucking knows about on either side of here to here. Like there's so much crap that can happen. I don't know if Punk walked off and died.
I think
What
he might
he's
have
doing.
died.
Punk, you taking a shit?
Fart twice if yes. No, man. I think there's going to be. I think this year's going to be a lot better for film and stuff. Hopefully, I think as
That's
things
where-
clear up and people loosen up a little bit.
We're kind of gearing up too, because I mean, yeah, this week's already kind of stacked up to be pretty crazy for me. So I mean, that's a good start to 2022, though. Nothing up for the rest of the month. Usually, it's pretty slow until usually past Valentine's Day. That's whenever stuff starts picking up. Usually,
Yeah.
so
It'll be
I've
a fun
also,
year because we should have both projects dropping this year.
we should.
There's some things there's a lot going on this year. They just announced the SCP Heretic Kickstarter starts on January 8th.
Yep.
So if you liked Overlord, go
10 million
toss the
views,
money at
right?
that. Huh?
Yeah. 10 million views, right?
Oh, it's about to
Up
hit
there,
12.
Yeah.
It's about to hit 12 million. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I'd like to say that I pretty much carried that film on my back.
Oh, okay.
It's my eyes. My eyes sold it through the
I'm
mask.
gonna. The humble
Where's
cam
Cam?
is shut off.
Listen,
Oh,
I-
no.
I-
Humble.
Listen,
The
I
humble
had, it
cam is
set,
shutting off.
I had it set for an hour, and now it's dead.
Oh well, we're gonna have. I'm gonna fucking duct tape you in your bed at Southern Front and let Wayne and Chavez beat the shit out of you with soap bars and fucking socks for that comment.
Jokes on you. That's actually my fantasy.
Oh,
Jokes
man.
on you. I'm into that.
Hey
shit.
Wayne, can you show Corey how to work that big expensive camera that you?
Listen,
sold
I
him
just don't
because-
have a dummy battery for
You know,
it. It was
you
running
know
on
it's
a
great.
battery.
I'm just running mine on an Anchor battery.
Yeah, that's what I should be doing, but I'm an idiot.
Well, with
I
that
always thinking about
surprisingly unsurprising revelation, it's time to end. Wayne,
Wayne, thanks for coming
Bubby.
on.
Not a problem, man. Thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it. Been wanting to do it for a bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wayne, you are coming from the black box at the bottom right hand of your screen. You're the man. If you guys ever have an idea for a video production and you have a budget, hit up Wayne. He is god tier when it comes to cinematic shots.
No, I will give props to Corey too. Like I tell people all the time, you're my director. So it's like you and I just work really well together. It's like
Stop it.
kind of eerie. Stop!
They
I
do.
can't see you blushing because your camera's dark. But
no, he's
Yeah,
actively
turn it off
masturbating
because I
to
was
that
crying.
thought.
I mean, even what's the Ten of Swords? Courtney. He said, yeah. He said that he goes. It was like weird seeing how Corey and I work together. Like he goes, you guys are just like in each other's heads. It's like, oh yeah, fine, yeah. I know what you're talking about. He's like, we'll just
You
execute
guys
it.
like didn't talk. You just point at shit and grunt, and it would happen.
Yeah.
Like there are literally times where I would start a sentence and like I wouldn't even have to finish it, and he's like walking out of the room to go ahead and get the stuff ready. I'm just like,
You guys are cute.
yeah, no.
Well, they thought I was you with a beard to hide your identity.
They didn't. I did. I thought.
Yeah. Punk
I
did.
know, and I was like, wait a minute. That's not Corey. When did you grow up? Oh, it says Wayne. That's our guest.
Well, they say apples have been together long enough, they start to look alike.
Oh my god! All right,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna see this shit out. Welcome to 2022, motherfuckers.
Oh, fuckers.